The last time I rode a big capacity motorcycle on this road was about 14 months ago. So needless to say, there was a lot of pent-up energy looking for an outlet, like the one which Kawasaki have christened the Z650. It is incredible how this parallel twin 649cc motor can still provoke the kid in you. I mean, this of course now gets the BS6 treatment. It is 4 kgs heavier thanks to the fact that Castrol makes 68 PS and 64 Newton meters of torque, which is about 1.7 Newton meters less than the previous model. And that is something which you immediately notice. Not I love this mid-range and how it has been so beautifully matched with the gearbox, because it makes the Z so much more versatile. It is an absolute hoot here in the canyons and will also allow you to easily putter around in the city in the 3rd gear, or go on the highway and cruise in the 6th gear with more and enough torque on tap, just above 4000 RPM for those quick dash overtakes without the need to downshift. Not that you mind downshifting, because the gearbox is slick and the slipper clutch is among the best I've experienced, because it allows a little more slip to prevent the rear wheel from hopping, and in the city is also very light and easy to operate. And then you have the ferocious bite of the twin pedal disc. I think it's fair to say that you can blame the brakes as much as the engine for all the shenanigans that you'll be tempted into doing. You have solid bite, really good feedback to drop anchor in a hurry. And this despite the new Dunlop tires, which are clearly the weakest link on this package. I think I actually really like the old tires, because even in terms of grip and feedback, they did really well even on a racetrack. The only problem with them was they did not last too long, which is why I feel Dunlop felt the need to update them to increase their longevity, and that's clearly turned out to be much of a compromise, because these definitely don't have the same edge grip, feel quite vague when you're riding them, when you're braking hard, and the rear also wants to come around very quickly on damp patches. Another factor which prevents you from exploiting the full potential of the Z in the corners are the cramped ergos. So if you look at the seat, the rider's seat sits much lower compared to the pillion seat. So on the one hand, you'll appreciate the low 790 mm seat height, but it also means that you don't have a lot of room to move around, which is why you feel quite cramped when you're attacking corners, more so if you're 6 feet and taller. And this of course also doesn't help you when you're spending long hours in the saddle, because you are sat in the same position for a long time, which makes your butt hurt after about 150-200 kilometers. Then you have the suspension. I feel the front, they've done a good job. It strikes a good balance, gives you the support you require when you're riding hard, and also the suppleness when you're riding over bumpy or rough roads. The shock, on the other hand, yes, it comes with preload adjustability. The problem is the adjuster ring, just like on the RTR, sits below the tank. So you have to remove the tank to access it, which we weren't really most comfortable doing. And in the stock trim, it felt very soft when you were riding hard and quite harsh when you're riding over broken surfaces. And this factor, the fact that it's difficult to adjust the preload also doesn't help the Z650 because of its already poor ground clearance of 130 mm, which leaves these beautiful pipes to face the wrath of our tall speed breakers. But other than that, I love how compact the Z650 is. It is so agile, so easy to lay from one side onto the other. And even in the city, yeah, I would have preferred the bar to be wider and straighter for more leverage. But still, to be fair, it can slice through traffic like a scooter. It's very quick on its feet. The vibrations, yeah, they're still there as I've always been on this engine. They creep in around 4,500 RPM from the pegs onto the handlebar as the revs climb. But to be fair, the weighted pegs help and you don't really notice them on shorter rides. But on longer ones, yeah, they can get annoying. Just like the windscreen, it is too small to provide any protection whatsoever from wind blasts at higher speeds. But to be fair, at least it doesn't cause any buffeting, which I feel tires you out even more. From a practical standpoint, you'll appreciate the adjustable levers, both for the brake as well as the clutch, and also the heat management. Kawasaki have definitely made a step there because it's a big engine. It does heat up. In the city, you can see it climb up to 100 degrees Celsius, but that's when the fan kicks in and keeps it under check, and also the temperature falls down as soon as you start moving. And also, for the most part, it stays away from your legs, which is not bad at all. And from a subjective point of view, I love the way this looks. I love the new LED headlight, this neon green chassis, and of course this amazing TFT dash. Nice, clean cut, gives you all the information at a glance. Sure, could Kawasaki have done better in terms of incorporating or better using the Bluetooth connectivity? Most definitely. But I feel the more pertinent question here is if all of these updates, if they justify the 75,000 rupee price hike over the previous model. If you ask me, I think that's where Kawasaki missed a trick or two, because this clearly had the makings of the perfect upgrade for anyone who has a Duke 390 or a BMW G310R, because it's a very similar motorcycle. It's nice, compact, with a really punchy engine which is not overly intimidating. Right now with this price tag, I'm again worried that this is again going to be overshadowed by its fair touring sibling, the Ninja 650.